Hey, Bougie Club. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Give you all a minute to get in. I see that the mic is moving, so you guys put a comment in and say hello. Let me know you guys can hear me. And I'll wait for a couple of you all before I get into the details for today's conversation. Today is going to be a good conversation. Today's conversation is for the ladies. Now, gentlemen, you can probably benefit from this conversation. I'm not excluding you, but I want to talk to my ladies today. We're still, even though we're in September, happy September. This is the first Sunday in September. And I want to talk to you all ladies about being a bra. Because as women, I think we need to learn how to support each other better. And there is nothing better than a good support bra. The cheap bras will do the job, but they really, don't give you the look that you're looking for. Hey, Celia. Hey, Miss D. I know one of the things that I suffer with bras is losing my underwire on one side, and then your cattywampus. So let's talk about being a bra, which means boldly reinforcing another woman's awesomeness. So bra, boldly reinforcing awesomeness. And what prompted this conversation is an experience that I had this week, which was an experience that I've had several times, which was a reoccurring experience, which prompted me to redefine the acronym of BOUGIE, which is the basis kind of for this Bougie Club, which is something that we all have experienced, male or female. But since I'm a woman, I experience it more often from a female perspective. So ladies, I want to talk to you all about supporting each other. And in order to support the next woman, we have to do some support on ourselves. We have to get ourselves in order. We have to correct our own posture. So one of the things that we don't do well is self-assessment. We need to get better at doing self-assessment in order to correct whatever the issues are that we identify in our assessment. We have to be open to receive help and assistance, to ask for help and assistance, and then we have to just learn how to stand up straight and shine, because a lot of times people will say things or do things that make us shrink, which is slouch. I have poor posture, very poor posture. But people's words can make you shrink, and one of the things that keeps us back is that we're afraid to shine. And so I'm just going to share my experience in hopes that somebody else can identify with it. So this week, I was at a conference in DC, and one of the workshops was doing a pitch for your business. Now, I've gone to several classes on how to develop your elevator speech over the years, and I've developed my own style, but I'm always open to learn a new way, because I've realized in this 42 short years of living, I don't know what I don't know. So I'm always seeking to improve. So in doing the exercise where, they ask for volunteers to stand up and pitch their business, I attempted to incorporate the techniques that were being taught in the workshop into how I did my elevator speech. So of course, now I'm changing. So I'm outside of my comfort zone. I'm not doing what I practiced. And so, I attempted. I even ended up getting in front of the whole conference the next day and pitching my business, which, I get on here and talk to y'all live all the time, but it's something totally different when you're standing on a podium with a room of 100 and some odd people looking at you. So afterwards, there was this lady, and now we had colorless conversations, but I'm just gonna have to keep it 100 with y'all. I was talking to another sister, and she was in a position where she works with small businesses and is in a position where she can help other people win. We'll just say that. And so her thing to me was she wanted to give me personal feedback about my pitch. Okay. And one of her things that she told me was that I needed to humble myself because I was using words that she didn't understand. So I'm going to put a pause right here because we do this a lot, lady. So let's break down that statement. I need to humble myself. So first of all, I didn't get offended because I'm very good at reading people nowadays. So I understood that she was projecting, and I just let her have her moment. And we ended up having other conversations throughout the conference. But this is the thing. I remember when I was in college and I was in this class and this girl asked me, why do I always use big words? And I'm like, because I know how to use them. And I felt some type of way because at that particular time we were in college, and in college, shouldn't we use big words? But I use big words or words that other people may not be familiar with because I read. I like to read. I even have a book, 2,000 most challenging and obscure words. I've read that book, and so I know words that most people don't know, and I know how to use them accurately in a sentence, so I do. But I try to be mindful and not talk down to people and not talk over to people. So that's something that I work on. I've identified it. I've done a self-assessment because I realized that everyone's not an avid reader like me, and so I try to explain things in a way that everybody can understand. And so she then went on a long spiel, but had she been having this conversation with someone other than me today, if she would have had this conversation with me maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I probably would have taken it different. But me today, I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I'm not going to shrink for your benefit. So my thing was, wouldn't it have been easier, ladies, if you run into a lady and say she's using words or terms that you're not familiar with? Would it not be nicer to say, you know what, I appreciate your speech, but you used some terms I really wasn't familiar with. Can you explain to me what human-centered learning means, versus saying you need to change it to someone else? I'm saying this because perception is 99% of reality. And I understand that the way that I deliver something, the way I intend it to be received, may not be how it's received. But there's also that a way that you can say something. And a lot of times you're saying stuff in a way where it's being received exactly as you intended. So be mindful of how you're talking to each other. Are you saying something from an intention of giving that woman better posture? Are you saying something in a way that's going to make them sit up straight, make them feel better about themselves? Or are you saying it to them in a way that's going to make them shrink? Now, I'm saying this because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. We've heard this over and over and over and over. So as women, I'm going to encourage you to be mindful of how we speak to one another, and check yourself mentally for the intention and the reason why you're making this statement to this lady before you even open your mouth. If it's not coming from a place of love, if it's not coming with the intention to help her correct her posture and walk away from you feeling more awesome, more empowered, then maybe, just maybe, you might not need to say anything, because there's plenty of things that I could say to people, but I've learned to evaluate whether if what I'm saying is coming from a place of love. And a lot of times when we talk to each other, we're not coming from a place of love. Let me tell you something. There is enough of everything to go around for all of us. There's enough opportunity, there's enough love, there's enough money, there's enough fabulous dresses, there's enough beautiful shoes. There is enough for everybody that you do not have to diminish someone else because they may seem to possess something that you don't have. Ask them, sis, how'd you do it? How did you get it? And then you have to be willing to share and grow each other. Quit holding all the information. Quit holding all the information. If you know where the sale is on the good snatcher, let her know that you got your foundation at Macy's, or you got your foundation at such and such a school. If she's interested in your career path, share with her what your career path was. Or if you found a more efficient way to get to where you currently are, from your hindsight being 2020, let that woman know about it. Let that sister know, like, look, this is how I did it. But on my journey, if I had it to do over again, I may have done it this way instead, because I found it to be a little more efficient. It's not gonna take anything away from what you have or what you're doing. It costs you nothing to be kind. But ladies, we have a responsibility to empower each other, to hold each other up, to correct each other's posture. It's up to us. Now, I'm not a man, so I can't really tell you what men conversate about. But I know from the men friend that I have, they don't have the same complaint. I don't hear him hating on another brother's wing tips. I don't hear him talking about, John's belly was hanging over his belt and he knows he should have tucked his shirt in instead of wearing it over his pants. Like, I don't hear those conversations coming from men. But I will hear women talking about, ooh, she knows she don't need that dress on. But at the same time, are you pulling that sister to the side and having a conversation with her? Are you letting your girlfriend know, sis, that's not the dress you need to wear out tonight? Or are you letting her go out looking crazy anyway? We went to dinner in Blanc last week, and I told you guys about that. And there was a young lady who had a halter top on. It was like a one piece, but it was a halter. And her bra was showing. And Tanika stopped her. She was like, "Let me come here. Let me fix your dress in the back." And she was like, "Oh, thank you so much." Now, how many people had saw this young lady walking around with her bra showing in the back? She cannot see behind her, but it caught, lady, sis, adjust your sister's dress in the back. You see this? You see that she doesn't have eyes in the back of her head. It could be something as simple as that, giving them feedback after a meeting. Like, I know one of the things that I do is I use my hands a lot. If it's something that I need to work on, be like, Jay, be more mindful of keeping your hands in your lap. Like, give each other positive feedback, but do it in a loving way. We will see. I remember it was week before last, I went and got my laser treatment. I have facial hair, right? Plenty of us have facial hair, but I go get laser treatments, and after the laser treatment, they put aloe vera gel on. I got my laser treatment at 1:30. I had went to the store, I had went to my accountant, I had went to the clerk's office to pay my taxes and renew my business license. I then went to dinner. All of this after I got my treatment. When I got home to wash my face, I realized that the aloe vera gel had dried into like little patchy flakes on the side of my face. Do you know, in all of those places that I went, not one person said, hey, do you know you have something on your face? Nobody. We cannot continue to see things like this and not let somebody know, like, what happened to the kindness? We see these little memes going around about straightening a sister's crown. Perhaps we don't know what straightening a sister's crown looks like. If you see, maybe she's in the grocery store with her kids and her child is acting a fool, don't act like you haven't been in a situation where your children haven't behaved like you would have preferred for them to behave in public. Instead of turning your nose up and talking crazy about her behind her back or giving her one of them looks, maybe you could give that woman a comforting look or some type of positive affirmation like, I've been there, it's going to be okay. Because you already know she's embarrassed. Who doesn't get embarrassed when a kid is acting out? It's not for you to continue to make her feel worse about a situation that she's already feeling bad about. So giving her some encouraging words like, it gets better. My baby used to get like that all the time when it was nap time. Like, give her some type of encouragement that you understand. All I'm saying is that, ladies, we can do a better job of supporting each other. don't take it for granted that the kind word that you say may be the life changer in that woman's life. As women, we deal with so much, we hold so much, we carry so much, we care so much, we provide so much, and at the end of the day, we feel like we have the weight of the world on our shoulders, because we do. We're carrying so much pressure. And nobody sees the tears that you cry in the bathroom when you shut the door and you have to let it all out. All they see is when you present yourself and your face is beat and, you know, you got on a nice dress or a night outfit and you're getting your Naomi Campbell strut down the street. But understand that when she responds to you in a certain way, there's something going on behind the facade. And once you start operating from a place of love, you'll be able to understand that her reaction is not her. It's her projecting something that she doesn't know how to articulate, or she hasn't been able to deal with herself. So at this particular instance of this experience, I didn't even get upset with the young lady because I had been hurt before. So based on how she was responding, I mean, like, she's here to help businesses. She had her name tag turned around because she didn't want anybody asking her questions. You know, I was trying to have a conversation. I'm like, what's your name? Your name tag is turned around. She's like, yeah, I know, because I don't want nobody asking me any questions. So just her responses and her body language let me know that what she was projecting was bigger than me. It didn't have anything to do with me. And so I could have responded to her the same way she was giving it to me. But for what would that have solved? That would have been an exchange between two women, two black women looking like angry black women, which is what everybody expects. But instead, I took it for what it's worth. I said, okay, she got some other issues going on. Perhaps she really doesn't want to be here. Maybe she's having a bad day. I don't know what it was. But in that moment, all I could do was give her kindness, because it didn't really matter what she thought or what she felt, because I know who I am, and what she was projecting on me, I wasn't receiving, because I know that wasn't me. So when I say the first thing you have to do in order to support another woman is to treat you first and do a self-assessment and work on you. Once you work on you, you'll be able to see the old you, the former you, or maybe even the current you in someone else. And so when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, when they're responding to you, you'll be able to respond to them and how you wish someone would respond to you or would have responded to you. It takes all of us working together and being mindful of what Post-it notes we walk out the door with every day, and realize that everybody's not going to tell you their life story. Although I've had some people tell me their life stories, some of the things that people tell me are really, really heavy. They're very, very heavy. So heavy into the fact is I wonder how they're standing. But some of these people, no one knows what they're carrying but them. And so you have to be mindful of that when you're interacting with people, because it has nothing to do with you. It's not you. It's something that they're dealing with, but you can help them. Adjust her. You know, give her some encouraging words. Give her some incentive to be awesome. Put yourself, remember I talked to you all about empathy, I don't know how many times. Put yourself in her shoes. I'm at the point I don't wear heels anymore. I like wearing flats. So when I was wearing heels, sometimes they were uncomfortable. More often than not, they were uncomfortable. But you know what? Time and experience has taught me that I could be just as cute with a 1-inch wedge as I can be with a 6-inch stiletto. But that's taking seasoning. That's taking the acquisition of these gray hairs that you see. And it has nothing to do with age. It has to do with experience. And so you may be more seasoned and experienced than the next woman, but you have a duty in order to share and to teach and to usher that next generation, that other woman, into a place of serenity. Because too often than not, we get beat down by everybody around us, and we get beat down by other women. And it's time for us to start building each other up. It's time for us to encourage other women to be awesome. It's time for us to quit acting like we got all our stuff together and we've never had some experiences and unpleasant experiences that someone else might be going through. It's time to quit looking down our nose at each other and start coming from a place of love, coming from a place of empathy, and building each other up. Even if that means you have to get down on your hands and knees and allow someone else to step on your back so that they can rise. There is beauty in service. There is beauty in service. There is beauty in service. I'm going to say it again. There is beauty in service. And sometimes, just sometimes, more often than not, your interaction with that person may because there's a requirement for you to serve. Serve them your experience. Serve them your assistance. Serve them with kindness. But ladies, you have to be in a posture of receiving. You have to be open to receiving. And that's something that, I struggle with. Diamond was over here trying to get the thing together, and she was like, you gonna let me do that? Or you gonna keep doing it? Because I'm so used to doing everything that I'm having to adjust to the fact that, hey, I have an assistant. What is her job to do? To assist me with all of these things that I've been carrying and trying to do on my own. So I understand that it's hard to ask for help. I understand that it's hard to allow someone to assist you. But God will send you helpers. God will send you people to help you, but you have to be willing to allow them to help. So do a self-assessment and figure out, what are those things that I need to work on? What are those things that I need to grow? What are those things that I can do to help me a better person? And then I want you to be open to receiving them. Because if you can't receive it, nobody can give it to you. And then on the flip side, I want you to flip the tables. And then I want you to be able to look at how another woman is behaving and put yourself in her shoes and kind of feel like some of those things that she may be going through. Because I remember when I was acting like this, I had this going on in the background, and this is how it came out. And understand that when she's snapping on you and she's popping off, you don't know, she might be dealing with a sick parent at home. You know, her child may have just died. Like, there's so many things that go on in the background. Maybe she lost the ID and she can't find her ID, but she got to be at work, and, she's going to be late, and there's a meeting at 8 o'clock, and you just happen to run into her at the traffic light, and she's honking her horn, and your first inclination is to turn around and bless her out. Like, don't do that. People are going through so many things. We see all of this stuff on the news where people are clicking out. Kindness, y'all. Just come from a place of kindness and adjust a sister's crown. Be a good support bra. Boldly reinforce awesomeness in the way that you talk to each other, in the way that you receive each other, and know that you are not in this alone. I guarantee you, you're not in this alone. Now, you don't have to tell everybody your business. I'm not encouraging that. But I am encouraging you to be willing to accept an assistance when people offer it. Because we gotta do a better job, ladies. I'm tired of it. Like, I'm tired of us not supporting each other. There's too many of us. Do you know how many women are walking this planet? Like, there's too many of us. We birth nations from our wombs, ladies. We are nurturers by nature, but I'm gonna encourage you all to nurture each other. That's all I got for y'all, Bougie Club. I hope this helps somebody. I hope y'all follow what I was trying to express. But I want you all to work on yourself. And I want you to identify those areas where you need to improve and where you need support. And once you identify those areas, as God starts sending that support and assistance into your atmosphere, I want you to be open to receiving the assistance. I want you to say thank you. I want you all to look at each other in a more loving way, from an aspect of empathy And I want you all to adjust your posture. I want you to walk with your heads held high. I want you to give each other compliments. I want you to know that you are not alone, and I want you to know that everything is going to be okay. And above all, I want you to continue to be bold, outspoken, unapologetic, goodwill, inspiring, and epic every day. I am your girl, J. Penelope, encouraging you to be bougie. I love you all in this life and the next. Until next time, good night.